Putin apologist, may be asked to leave Senedd faction. After attending what has been called a propaganda event in Russia for Vladimir Putin, members of the Senedd's cross-party group for music will be asked if their vice chair should remain in post. For attending a anti-fascist song festival in Samara, a city about 600 miles southeast of Moscow, where invited artistes performed on a stage emblazoned with the letter Z, the symbol associated with Putin's special military operation in Ukraine. Musical conductor Craig Roberts was one of two members of Wales's cultural community to receive harsh criticism. Reports from unbiased media outlets indicate that Russian army recruiters were present to drum up support for the conflict in Ukraine. According to the independent newspaper Novaya Gazeta, the Kremlin and the Moscow Caledonian Club, an officially recognized Scottish cultural centre, funded the festival. Jimmy McRae, a Scots piper, was the headliner of the closing gala concert, and army recruiters reportedly targeted men who attended. Mr. McRae also appeared in a video, Manifesto, where Putin's reasons for invading Ukraine were outlined, including the claim that the existence of the Russian people was under threat. Mr. Roberts and children's author Mike Church, both of Wales, are also featured in the video. The statement read at the festival claimed that, "Today fascism is once again raising its head." To paraphrase one author, once again the leaders of another Western power talk of the exceptionalism of their nation, of their right to rule the world. It went on. Once again we hear of the collapse of Russia, the erasure of Russian culture and history, the annihilation of the entire Russian people. And that means there's a new threat to the homeland. The manifesto made no direct mention of Ukraine. The cited Western power was not identified. However, Russians would have known it was a reference to the United States. Appalling. Welsh Council General and Labour Assembly member Mick Antoniou is the son of Ukrainian immigrants and has been instrumental in organising aid missions to support Ukrainians fighting back against Putin's brutal invasion. It is appalling that these people have gone on this freebie and allowed themselves to be used for propaganda purposes by Russia, he said. Putin will almost certainly view them as useful idiots. I have no idea if they are just extremely naive. Mr. Roberts is a conductor, events manager, and creative consultant, according to his website. He is also the business development and marketing officer to St. Albans, Cunnan Valley, musical director of Lewis Merthyr Band, City of Bristol Brass Band, and Symphonic Brass Wales, and director of the Estes Park International Tattoo in Colorado, USA. He is also a consultant to the Musikfest der Bundeswehr in Düsseldorf, Germany, a trustee of the world-famous Grimethorpe Colliery Band, and vice chair of the cross-party group for music in the Senedd. His statement read, "For my part, I have been traveling to Russia and participating in cultural events there for over 15 years, in response to our inquiry. In 2013, I had the good fortune to travel to Ukraine. Unfortunately, the conflict in the Donbass has been going on for 8 years now, and the current situation there is tragic. However, I believe it is crucial that lines of communication, especially cultural ones, remain open between all nations, especially at times like these, and that more dialogue and mediation are needed to end the current crisis. At some point, hopefully soon, this conflict will end, and then it will be time to rebuild bridges between nations. Culture and the bonds maintained through these difficult times, one hopes, will be useful then." According to recent information, Mr. Roberts will spend 2 weeks of August in Russia participating in the International Forum Against the Cancellation of Culture. It will be held in Veliki Novgorod, Pskov, Russia, between August 12 and August 27. Abhorrent. When asked if Mr. Roberts should continue to serve as chair of the all-party Senedd group under the current circumstances, Labour MS Rhiannon Passmore responded, "Putin is a fascist, and his invasion of Ukraine is abhorrent. All democratic nations must rally behind the Ukrainian armed forces fighting this heinous invasion." According to the rules of the Senedd, the cross-party group on music must choose a chair and a secretary. Craig Roberts has participated in the group and served in an unofficial capacity as vice chair. Mr. Roberts has not been to a gathering since late last year. The Senedd's rules state that membership is determined by the body itself. The group, I'm sure, will want to think about the weight of that duty. Mr. Roberts, please stop providing support for Vladimir Putin's regime and publicly condemn Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. At the next meeting, I intend to bring up my reservations about Mr. Roberts' continued membership with the group. Mr. Roberts was asked to address Ms. Passmore's criticisms, but he did not respond.